paying me some money. I said, can you at least give me $25 so I can pay for my medicine? I don't have it. Okay.
Okay.
Next in here, do you have any money I could borrow? And well, I didn't have any money. I think I probably had 20, and I would give it to him. Because being a mom, I don't want to see him hurting, but...
Miss Kelm, this is your son and your wife.
Yes.
What's your first name?
Jacoby.
What do they call you?
Jake.
How old are you, Jake?
31.
How long have you been married?
7 years.
Prior to getting married, were you married to someone else?
Yes.
For how long?
5 years.
Did you ever live with your mother?
No.
When was the last time you lived with your mother?
I was 17, I believe.
Okay, so you had a reasonable relationship with your mother?
Yes.
Until when?
Until May of I'd say September of this year.
September of 2022?
Correct.
This is about a car. Is your claim that you sold your son a car and he didn't pay you? His defense is that it was a gift. There was never a discussion of that payment. When you turned over the car to your son, according to what I've read, you signed over the documents that allowed him to register the car in his own name, which he did. So he registered the car in his own name. Is the car still driving now?
No, it is not.
Where is it?
It got scrapped.
When?
October 3rd, 2022, which I have the receipt for that as well.
When did your mother turn the car over to you?
May 31st.
What kind of car was it?
2006 Chrysler Town & Country.
What happened to it?
Transmission went out on it, and it had some electrical issues. It kept draining the battery.
Had you spent anything to have those issues addressed?
Not on the transmission. I did replace the battery 3 times.
Did you buy a new car?
Yes.
How much?
$700.
What kind of car?
2003 Nissan Altima.
Why don't you tell me the circumstances, Jake, of the transfer of the car from your mother to you? Tell me the date that happened.
I got the title on the 30th
of May.
On the 31st, I was able to transfer it.
Tell me about the conversation with your mother when she signed over the title to you. She says you were supposed to pay her some $800 for the car.
No, Your Honor.
I want you to tell me what the conversation was with your mother when she gave you the title. You came to her, you didn't have a car.
Right.
You didn't have a car, you needed a car. And?
She said, the van's sitting over at the other property. It's just been sitting there for the last year. You can go over and if it starts, you can use it. And it did. She said, however, you cannot take the van until the title's transferred. And at which point, she gave me the title and the lien card for it. I went to the DMV, I transferred it, came back, got the van, and I was on my way. About a month and a half later, she was saying that if you give me $500, I'll put it in the safe for you, and then I'll just give it to you when you need it.
You have any communication with your mother about the car?
Not anymore.
I mean, communication in writing.
Oh, yes, I do. But nothing about payments. I mean, there was a few texts here and there saying, I want my money, or I'll take the van back.
I'd like to see that.
Okay. I might have one more in here. There's this one as well.
Jake, on September 3rd, Jake, you said, not sure what's going on with you, but this is getting ridiculous. I'll pay you when I have the money.
Right.
That's what you said.
Yep. I'm not saying I don't owe her anything. I'm just saying I was going to give her something just to show.
No. So on September 3rd, you got the car at the end of May, so June, July, and August you had the car, and you said, I'm not sure what's going on with you. Maybe, Mom, you're having issues that I don't know about, but this is getting ridiculous. I'll pay you when I have the money. That's an acknowledgement that you owe your mother the money.
Correct.
Okay. And how much did you agree to sell him the car for?
Car was $800.
Okay. Tell me about discussing with him the cost of the car and what you were going to sell it to him for.
We were at my friend's house, and we were playing marbles and having a few beers like we always do. We get together a lot. And he didn't have a vehicle, so we discussed he could use mine. And at that time, he said, well, he'd rather buy it. And then I said, okay, I will sell the van, which I was talking to my daughter about. She wanted to buy it also. And I told them both it was $800. And you could shake your head, no, that's true. But it was $800. And he said, okay, could he get it right away? And I said, well, first of all, can't let you drive it because you're not insured. And then we talked about he was going to buy it and he would take it. I said, you got to transfer the title first. So he did all that.
Okay, well, that's responsible of both of you.
Yeah, there's no way we could leave it, go with no insurance. So then they took the van, and I told them first, I need to clean it out because I have a bunch of stuff in there. They said they would clean it out, but they needed a vehicle right away, and I said, okay.
When was the first time you asked him for money? You asked him for money?
In the summer sometime. I mean, we'd get together at my friend's house, and it's probably a month later I asked him, are you going to pay something on the van? I couldn't even say an exact date because, like I said, we got together, we played cards, and we would have a few beers with my friends over at her place, and then we'd discuss the van a little bit, discuss the money.
Just for my own curiosity, you've seemed to have, up until this point, a very fine relationship with your son and his wife. Is there something that interfered with that? I mean, $800 is a substantial amount of money, but odd to bring it to a lawsuit.
There is really nothing that interfered with our relationship except for him not paying me some money. And in between this time, and you both know this.
Don't look at me.
There's one text in here, do you have any money I could borrow? And well, I didn't have any money. I think I probably had 20, and I would give it to him. Because being a mom, I don't want to see him hurting, but I told him you still have to pay me for my car.
Okay. And he acknowledges that he would pay you for the car when I have it.
But he would get get a paycheck, and he would go to the casino or go to the racetrack or whatever. And I said, well, what about paying me some money? I said, can you at least give me $25 so I can pay for my medicine? I don't have it. Okay.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $800.
Well, I'm glad at least I'll get my money back for my van.
There's a lot of things that my mom did say that were very untrue.
I love him. I will always love him. He's my baby.
You just don't sue family over something so stupid.
Happy that I finally learned how to text.
Yeah, and how useful text messages can be.
Because, I was late to the game with all this electronic stuff. Anyway, these text messages have become so vital to adjudicating cases because younger people memorialize everything, including what they have for breakfast and lunch and how they're feeling and what they're doing in text messages. But for the text message that he gave me, which said, I owe you the money, I'll pay you when I have it.
I think people, especially younger generation, think it's a flippant, I'm going to send this text really quick, or I'm going
to somebody on the phone.
Exactly, like it's a conversation, but they don't realize the legal implications of sending a text from your phone number, admitting a debt, even if that's not what you intended at the time you sent the text. Now there's this altercation, and you bring it to court.
Right, and it's memorialized in a writing, coming from your phone.
Got to be careful with what you text.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine your own mother gives you a van when you desperately need transportation. You transfer the title into your name, drive it for months, then scrap it. And when she asks for the $800 you promised, you suddenly say it was a gift. Seriously? That argument might have worked if Jake had kept his mouth shut. But this man literally texted his mother, I'll pay you when I have the money. Bro, case over. Pack up the papers and go home. You cannot tell the judge that you never agreed to pay, while your own text message says you are going to pay. That is not a misunderstanding. That is a written acknowledgement of the debt. Now, I understand why Jake tried to argue that the van was a gift. His mother signed over the title. The van had been sitting unused for almost a year, and she originally told him he could take it if it started. So, from Jake's point of view, maybe the situation felt informal. This was not a dealership. There was no salesman, no formal payment schedule, and apparently no detailed written sales contract. It was a mother helping her son. But come on, a title transfer does not automatically mean free gift. When you buy a vehicle from anyone, the title still has to be transferred into your name. That is how ownership works. And according to Holly, the price was clear, $800. She had even discussed selling the van to her daughter for the same amount. So this was not some random number she invented after the relationship went bad. And honestly, Jake's own behavior made his defense look worse. His mother says he would get paid, then spend money at the casino or the racetrack while refusing to give her anything toward the van. Bro, you have gambling money, but you cannot give your own mother $25 for her medicine? That is the part that really bothered me. This woman said she would still give him her last $20 when he needed help. Why? Because she is his mother. She did not want to see her son struggling. But when she needed a small amount of her own money back, suddenly he had nothing. Seriously, that is cold. And then after losing the case, Jake says, "You don't sue family over something so stupid." No, you also do not force your mother to sue you by refusing to pay her for months. People always say family shouldn't take family to court, but they usually say that after they have already taken advantage of the family member. Where was that family loyalty when your mother was asking you to pay? Where was it when she needed money for medicine? Where was it when you scrapped the van without settling the debt? Family should not have to sue family. I agree. But family also should not lie, avoid payment, and then use the word family as protection from accountability. Now, to be fair, Holly probably could have handled the transaction more carefully. She should have written a basic bill of sale. It should have said, 2006 Chrysler Town & Country sold to Jake for $800. Both parties should have signed it, because mixing family and money without paperwork is how cases like this happen. People rely on love and trust at the beginning. Then, when the relationship becomes tense, suddenly everyone remembers the agreement differently. Holly remembered a sale. Jake remembered a gift. Fortunately for Holly, Jake created the evidence himself. That text message saved her case. When he wrote, "I'll pay you when I have the money," he confirmed two things. First, there was money owed. Second, he intended to pay it. Judge Judy did not need a 20-page contract after seeing that. And I love the lesson at the end of this episode. People treat text messages like disposable conversations. They type something quickly, press send, and forget about it. But your text can become evidence. It has your phone number. It has a date. It has a time. And sometimes it contains your own admission. Jake probably thought he was just calming his mother down when he promised to pay later. Instead, he gave her the strongest piece of evidence in the entire lawsuit. Honestly, Judge Judy absolutely made the right decision. Holly was not asking for some ridiculous amount. She wanted the agreed $800 for her van. Jake used the vehicle, transferred it into his name, and eventually had it scrapped. He cannot return it. He cannot pretend the debt disappeared because the vehicle later developed mechanical problems. It was an old 2006 van. Buying an old vehicle comes with risks. Unless Holly guaranteed the transmission, the later breakdown does not erase the purchase price. And notice something else. Jake paid $700 for another old car after the van stopped working. So somehow he could find money for another vehicle, but not pay the mother who helped him when he had nothing. Bro, that says everything. The sad part is that this was never really about $800. It was about respect. Holly felt that her son accepted her help, ignored his promise, spent money elsewhere, and only took her seriously when she brought him to court. She still loves him. She still calls him her baby. But love does not mean allowing someone to walk over you. Judge Judy gave Holly the full $800, and that was exactly the right result. What do you think? Was Holly wrong for taking her own son to court? Or did Jake leave her no other choice by refusing to pay until she sued him? Let me know your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy courtroom reactions, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.